Hi, friends. Welcome to MammothMarijuana.com. This is me without my sunglasses, in case you want to know what my eyes look like. They're brown. Bedroom brown eyes, girls. Anyway, seriously, though, I want to talk about something I was mentioning yesterday about cannabis freedom and the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and why cannabis should be a right. It shouldn't be something we have to ask for. Now, if you remember, we talked about some history yesterday. We talked about the Hearst and the DuPonts and the Kennedys. And we talked about why it wasn't made illegal. And it was meant to keep the Mexicans and the blacks and the jazz singers down. And it was the same people are still manipulating. And we also talked about how the current people in power right now, they make you want to think that they want to legalize, but in reality, they have other motives. When we have the right to use cannabis, it has to be free of any motives. It has to be about freedom, total freedom, and not for any group to control us. There's a lot of reasons why that we need legalization, and some of them are not what are being talked about. For instance, we need people in the military. We need police, fire, EMT, nurses, doctors. Some of them can't get those jobs if they use cannabis. That's ridiculous. Cannabis is the least dangerous of all the other drugs. No, it's not perfect, but it's safer. And it should be somebody's right to use if that's their oblivion. If it's for medical, it's very helpful. Now, why are some of the reasons that it should be legal? Well, for one thing, if you need pain medicine, you shouldn't have to make a choice between pain medicine or cannabis. The fact of the matter is, and through many studies, through many countries, it's been proven that cannabis actually lessens the amount of use of opioids. In my case, I got off of 3 Oxycontin 40s, 120, 8 Norcos, 8 Valium 10s, Ambien, all kinds of garbage they were putting in me because I was injured in a car crash by an 88-year-old driver in 86. And one of the persons that helped me was our governor here in Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine. He's a good friend. He's a good man. But he comes from that reefer madness era. It's not his fault. He's a really good person. But we have to help him understand things, from many sides of view. And one of the points of view is to help him see that we need police. We need fire. We need military. And those people, if they use cannabis, they can't get those jobs, and we need them. We need him to consider, for instance, that we need to have pain medicine so that if we can use cannabis and CBD and use the least amount of opioid, it's a better way to go. That way we don't have addiction and people don't go to the street. And if it's legalized, what's most important is we're being bombarded by an open border by our current leader. He's got this border wide open in the south, in the north, and east and west. Absolutely crazy. And we have drugs pouring in like never before. And one of them is called fentanyl. And it's just a killer. I mean, I remember when PCP was a big deal and crack. That was nothing. This stuff, a little touch of it will kill you. Police, by accident, touch it when they're trying to help somebody, and they have to take Narcan immediately. This is dangerous. We need Governor DeWine and other people to understand legalization is the reason to end the drug epidemic. I know it sounds crazy. Probably sounds crazy. But look at it this way. When people use alcohol and drugs, and both of those are drugs, they're always trying to get back to that first experience. So when somebody, they got drunk the first time, they had such a good time, maybe made love or something, they want to get back. So what do? They don't just drink. They try to keep drinking to get back to that point. Same with drugs. People they don't take just a little. They keep taking more and more and more drugs, and they get addicted. With cannabis, it's different. Why is it different? Okay, that's a good question. Because cannabis, first of all, you got thousands of strains. Cannabis doctors use those strains just like your doctors use different medicines in a prescription for you to benefit you. Okay? But beside that, cannabis, it's what makes rope, it's what makes clothes, it's what makes paper, it makes products, and also makes CBD that works on your endocannabinoid system and can save your life because it helps your bones, it helps your organs, it helps every part of your body recover. It's called CBD, okay? And it comes from the cannabis plant. It's the non-psychoactive part. It doesn't get you high. But let's talk about the part that does. Okay, let's talk about cannabis, the THC, okay? Indica, sativa. One sort of lays you back, one gives you energy. Okay? So why is it important that we should use it? First of all, we've got to get rid of this stoner slacker image. I'm telling you, on Mammoth Marijuana on our show, we are not talking about getting up, starting your day, getting wasted, drinking and drugging all day long. No. We think that if you're moderate and when you work hard and you have a good day's work and you do something in your life, you're going to really enjoy yourself a lot more. Because moderation is the key to life. So anyway, why is cannabis the cure to the drug crisis? Because with alcohol and drugs, you have to keep doing more and more and more to try to get back to that original time. You never do. And people just get worse and worse and worse and more dependent. With cannabis, it's been proven over and over. Now, you might psychologically get addicted in the sense that you want it. But if you've used cannabis, when you didn't have it, there was no withdrawals. You didn't have no problems with your body. You weren't aching. Nothing. Because it doesn't have that. That's the beauty of it. And the other beauty of cannabis is that with thousands of strains, every single day you can enjoy it. So if you put in a good day's effort, you do something with your life, and at the end of your day, or when it's the weekend, whatever, when you choose to relax, you can enjoy yourself because there's thousands of strains. So you can smoke it, you can eat it, you can drink it, you can vape it. There's a million ways, and you can use different ways and different kinds of strains on different days. So my point is, unlike drugs, unlike alcohol, people can feel satisfied. They actually could use cannabis and feel satisfied. They don't need to go to hard drugs. And they don't need alcohol. By the way, I pushed that shit. I pushed a lot of alcohol. I was a Playboy bartender. Okay? I was proud of my job. I loved it. But when I look back, I remember, man, there was people who came there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They were there at 1 in the evening, in the morning, still drinking. And the women that came there came for the wrong reasons. Instead of them dealing with the reality that they just wish they could let themselves meet somebody and be normal, they had to get totally smashed so that they wouldn't have any problems. And they sort of black out and let what happened happen. It's ridiculous. Anyway, cannabis is an answer. Okay? Cannabis is also politically an answer for certain groups to really think about. Because we have to have our Second Amendment rights. There is no reason why people who use cannabis can't have their Second Amendment rights, just like people who use alcohol and drugs. And if people want to get a medical card, if you get a medical card today, you can't have a firearm. It's a setup. It's a setup by the government to disarm the public. Don't kid yourself. Don't get no card right now. And that's a shame. Because it'd be better if the states of the country made money, and that money could be used to help the people of the states and the country. There should be interstate traffic with cannabis. And we right now have major problems. We have a war in Ukraine with Russia. It's draining our country. Billions and billions of dollars. What happens when China attacks Taiwan? How are we going to deal with this on two fronts? One of the big ways could be through legalization of cannabis and through interstate traffic and international all over selling all over the world. I know this sounds a little wild right now, but things at the beginning always seem a little wild. And I really truly respect everybody's opinion. I do. That's why Mammoth Marijuana, believe me, I'm normally pretty silly, as you know if you know me. But we also have a thing called the free speech zone. And the free speech zone is so that you can say things. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm okay. I'll survive. And you will too. And we can all get along and talk. So the free speech zone is a big deal. Anyway, it's a countdown right now to mammothmarijuana.com on 420. 420 is a big deal. This show has been 5 years in the making. My wife and I did a lot to create this. We took it up to Hamilton, Ontario, and Toronto, Canada. It was a hit. It was a big hit in Las Vegas and out through the West Coast. We've had producers recently tell us this is one of the 4 shows they think in the world is going to be number 1. And we are going to be number 1 in the world. Not just because I'm sounding ambitious, but because what we're going to do, it's almost a public service. Think about it. What are our rules? Make fun of everything. Make fun of everyone. But to do it, you got to make fun of yourself. And so we ask people to play at home. Just play at home. Okay? So I know I get serious at times, but I'm asking y'all to consider what I'm saying. You don't have to agree. In fact, if you don't agree, talk to me. Talk on our show. Okay? We love you all. God bless America. God bless you all. And thank you from mammothmarijuana.com. This is Irv signing off. Till tomorrow with another little video for you on our countdown to 420. Have a blessed day.